Hello, and welcome to the Balancing It All podcast. I am Dr. Sheppard with Align Family Wellness in Forsyth, Illinois. Today, we are going to be talking about nervous system dysregulation. And I'm telling you, if you are a mom or going to be a mom of any age, your nervous system is probably jacked up. And so, what qualifies me to talk about this is that is literally what I do. I am a nervous system chiropractor. I care about your nervous system and how your nervous system functions because it has everything to do with stress and stress management. And I know this personally because I have struggled with my own nervous system dysregulation probably since COVID, since about 2020. And I'm still a work in progress. But today I'm going to be giving you just some tangible things you can do every day that literally only cost you a little bit of time and no money to regulate your nervous system. Okay, one of them costs you money. I'll talk about that. Okay, so let's go through what we need to do to regulate our nervous system. So, okay, move myself out of the way. Okay, so what we're going to do is first, I'm going to talk about this because I have to, but my number one suggestion is to get adjusted. And so I say that because I'm a chiropractor, but understand that nervous system adjustments help to decrease that sympathetic nervous system, that fight or flight nervous system. Like you were being chased by a bear, we can actually perform specific adjustments to help you get out of that fight or flight mode, and then to decrease that sympathetic nervous system and increase your parasympathetic nervous system, which is your rest and recover part of your nervous system. And so, yes, there's things you can do at home, but I'm telling you, if you are getting regular adjustments by a nervous system chiropractor, it will make you feel better almost instantly. And so this is really something we work on with a lot of my patients in the office is getting them adjusted, finding out where their stress levels are. And we do that with a specific scan called the HRV, or the heart rate variability. And so we can actually scan you and figure out how stressed your nervous system is. And we can categorize it into 5 zones and basically tell you, are you setting yourself up to be sick all the time and be exhausted? And to, really not be able to heal. And, probably part of the reason that you're not losing weight. And I can tell you this from experience because I have been in that exhausted zone. I've checked my HRV and I have been in that exhausted zone. And I've been spending the last year trying to heal my nervous system. So number one is going to be adjusted. And I know for a lot of you, if you're not local, or you're not seeing a chiropractor, if you guys DM us on social media, we can, or DM me on Instagram at Dr. Kim Sheppard. I will be able to find you a nervous system chiropractor if you are not local. If you are local, we would love to see you in the office and take care of you. Okay, so that's the one that costs the money is being adjusted and coming into the office. But I would be remiss if I didn't talk about that because I am a nervous system chiropractor. Okay, so next we're going to talk about moving your body, but not too much. So what I want to say about this is if you feel like your nervous system is dysregulated, you have a lot of stress, you wonder if your cortisol is being dysfunctional, all of this is the same stuff, you guys. It's just hot words. Cortisol, nervous system dysregulation, this is just all stress in different words. But if you feel like your body is stressed, you feel like you are stressed, you feel like you don't have time for any of this stuff because you're just stressed, this is stuff we're going to unpack in later podcast episodes. But I want to tell you, if you feel like your body is stressed and you are doing high intensity workouts, if you are doing Orange Theory or CrossFit or any of those like high intensity type, like workout programs, stop them right now. My goodness, please stop them right now. We have got to severely, if you are really trashed, you need to eliminate the HIIT altogether, which is what I had to do. I had to stop. I don't do any HIIT workouts. My body just cannot handle that stress. And so, if you're marathon training, if you're running long distances, and I know it's this hamster wheel of like, well, I got to lose weight. And so I need to do these high intensity exercises, but I'm gaining weight and I'm feeling more puffy and I'm feeling more bloated. Yeah, because you're stressing out your body even more. And the exercise, even though it can be good, can be a stress on your body. So how do we exercise smart, but not too much? And that is we have to move our body. So we need to get our steps in every day. We need to be aiming for 10,000 steps a day. If you are not there, I'm telling you right now, that is your number one thing you need to do is focus on getting movement into your body. So one thing I want you to try and do is go for a 30-minute walk without your phone. Please do not be on your phone. We are trying to decompress our nervous system. This is very, 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 very hard for me to do. I try to do this every single day. You may have to leave your phone at home, just plain and simple, like because you're too tempted to get on it. Because being in the quiet, listening to your own sounds in your head is hard, and we don't want to do it. Leave your phone at home. No one is going to be without you for 30 minutes. You're not going to be able to scroll Instagram. You will be fine for 30 minutes, especially if you are walking early in the morning like I am at 6 a.m., then you are not going to be bothered by anybody. Leave your phone at home, walk for 30 minutes a day. If that is all you can handle right now, that is fine. That is all I want you to do, is just walk. And I had to kind of do this years ago during COVID. I had to only walk because I couldn't handle anything else. I was just too stressed. So get outside, get the sunshine. That's extra, extra important for you too. If you can get sunshine on your face, no sunglasses, because we want the sunshine to hit our eyes so that we can regulate our circadian rhythms. So we want to really, really, really make that part of our daily day is our walking. So we are limiting our HIIT workouts, or we are completely eliminating them because they're stressing your system out more. But I do want you to strength train. I want you to do minimum 3 days of strength training per week to build muscle on your body. Building muscle is so, so important. If you are not strength training, this is something I really want you to start doing at least 3 days a week. If you don't know how to start, I have a program that we are getting ready to launch. You can, DM me on Instagram. In the meantime, I will set you up with that program that will give you workouts that are appropriate for your hormones. So also, you have to have rest days. If you are not taking rest days and you are working out 6 to 7 days a week, I was freaking guilty of this for years on end because I felt like I can't not work out. I've got to get this weight off. I can't not work out, which was actually harming my body more, and making my body more stressed and holding on to more weight and more inflammation. So you need 2 rest days or 2 low impact days, such as yoga. I want you walking 7 days a week. So one of those rest days can be your 30-minute walk, but we want to strength train 3 to 4 days a week. And we can work out personalized programs for you. But the biggest thing is strength training, taking time completely off to rest or do very, very low intensity exercise. And then eliminating that super intense, Orange Theory, CrossFit, whatever you're doing, if your body's stressed. If if you're like, hey, but I feel really good and, my body does good and I really love CrossFit. Well, if you're not stressed out, then, and your body's not stressed and you're not gaining weight, then okay, I don't care what you do. These are for us that our nervous system is dysregulated. We have to decrease the stress that we're putting on our body. And I hate to tell you this, but you are your own worst enemy. You are doing this to yourself. And I can say that with love because I was doing all the wrong things too. So, okay, number 1 is just adjusted. Number 2 is to move your body, but not too much. Number 3 is going to be to balance your blood sugar. So a lot of you are like running on caffeine and empty stomachs, and you are eating nonsense throughout the day, and then you're starving at night and you're raiding the pantry. And so we've got to balance your blood sugar. And so we have got to make sure we are eating protein, carbs, and fat, minimum 3 meals a day. I love the 3 meals a day, and I'll do a whole podcast on that. I used to be a 5 or 6 meal a day snack person. But we have to make sure we are not eating empty carbs. We are eating protein, carbs, and fat with all of our meals. If you are extra stressed and your cortisol is a little dysregulated, even if you don't know what that is, I'll do a podcast on cortisol dysregulation. You should not be having caffeine on an empty stomach. So for most of us, you shouldn't be. So we need to have a little something in our stomach before we have caffeine in the morning, before your big breakfast. And so Once again, I'm getting ready to do a 6-week program on, weight loss, balancing your blood sugar, balancing your hormones. So stay tuned for more information on that. Okay, something else we want to do in addition to balancing our blood sugar, number 4 is to stop eating 2 to 3 hours before bed. So basically, when we are sleeping, we need to be in a state of restoration. Our body doesn't need to be digesting. So if you eat close to your bedtime, then you will struggle with getting into sleep because your body's going to be trying to digest instead of focusing on the restorative processes we need to be at night. So don't eat close to bedtime. Give yourself 2 to 3 hours before bed to allow your body to digest so it can focus on restoring you throughout the night. Okay, number 5, hydrate. A lot of you are not drinking enough water. So, I mean water, like legit water. So we want to aim to drink half of your body weight in ounces of water per day. So if you weigh, let's say 200 pounds, you need to be drinking 100 ounces of water per day. So easy things you can do. Start your day with a big old glass of water. You wake up, you go to the kitchen, you drink your glass of water before you even have a sip of coffee. We want, if you can swig down 20 to 30 ounces of water first thing in the morning, you are killing it. Another thing we can do, a lot of people are like, well, if I drink water all day, I just pee and I pee and I pee. Well, we have to do this in phases. So you have to increase your hydration in phases, but your body will get used to it. I promise you, your body will get used to it. But a lot of us aren't absorbing our water because you're not adding minerals to your water. So something we like to do is to add minerals to our water. We love the Element packets. We sell them in our office. If you're really, really depleted, have 2 of them a day. Have one in the morning, have one in the afternoon. We sell them in our office. If you are local, you can come by and grab some. If you are not local and you want to use electrolytes in your water, literally some Himalayan or Celtic sea salt in your water adds electrolytes. You can also use some lemon and lime juice that adds electrolytes. You can do a mineral mocktail with a little bit of orange juice and coconut water. And I will be posting these recipes on my Instagram page, so you can get some of these other recipes for some mineral mocktails if you don't have access to the Element. Just make sure it doesn't have sugar in it. Some of the what are those called? Liquid IVs do have some sugar in them. So I know they have some sugar-free ones now, but the Element has sodium, magnesium, and potassium. And so I really like to have those, and they really make you feel really, really good. So not only hydrate, but hydrate with electrolytes in your water. Okay, number 6 is going to trigger some people. So I really, really, really want you to cut back on your alcohol. If not, avoid alcohol altogether. I've been kind of on this, whatever you call it, sober curious journey of, really, really decreasing my drinking, tracking my sleep and tracking my HRV. I really realized how much it was harming me and really disrupting my body. So alcohol can linger in your system. It can suppress your HRV, that heart rate variability, for up to 4 to 5 days. It can also delay fat burning for up to 24 hours. So if you're struggling with, your weight, a lot of times we're stressed, we drink, and then we prioritize alcohol metabolization. Oh my gosh, alcohol. We metabolize alcohol before our body metabolizes carbohydrates. So it's shutting down that alcohol metabolism. Alcohol is shutting that down for 24 hours. So you are not burning any fat. So if you're drinking every night, you're really never burning fat. So alcohol is truly a toxin to our body and to our brain. And so I want you to, if you've been drinking a lot daily, multiple times a day, which I really was during COVID, honestly, I've had to really kind of decrease this over time. Just work on cutting back, and then eventually you may decide that, drinking is not for you, or, special occasions, but it can really, really suppress your HRV, can suppress your immune system. So, number 6 is avoid alcohol. Number 7 is to limit caffeine. So, this is a struggle for me too. Our nervous system is dysfunctional and we are exhausted, we turn to caffeine. So, one thing I want to say is if you are having caffeine because you're dysregulated and you're not sleeping well, don't have it on an empty stomach. We already talked about that. That creates more stress in our body, which creates more cortisol, which then creates more nervous system dysregulation. So, have something like before you have your caffeine, whether it's half a banana or a rice cake with some peanut butter on it, if you're not ready to have actual breakfast. Some of you guys can make like a protein coffee where you're using coffee in like a pre-made protein shake. That's actually okay. That gives you a little bit of food in your stomach too. We want to watch and have only about 200 milligrams of caffeine per day. If you are an Alani addict, like I am, unfortunately, those have about 200 milligrams of caffeine. So one of those a day, and that's your max. I'm not a big coffee person, so I don't drink coffee in the morning. So those of you who drink coffee all day, switch to decaf in the afternoon just to give your body a little bit of a break. And we want to stop caffeine around noon. Depends on when you go to bed, but it takes about 6 to 8 hours for your body to kind of detox that caffeine before bedtime. So if y'all are going to bed, at 11 o'clock, you got to stop caffeine by like 2 or 3, but that's still, I would give yourself a little bit bigger of a buffer so that that caffeine gets totally out of your system. If I have caffeine much past 1 or 2 in the afternoon, I can feel it and I don't go to bed when I normally do, which is closer to 9:30. So that brings us to number 8, which is get enough sleep and get good sleep. And this is something also I've been struggling with and kind of working through. The biggest thing is you guys have to quit your Netflix addiction. You have to stop like binge watching stuff at night or being like, okay, this is my only time for myself. And so I'm going to spend 3 hours like doom scrolling my phone at night. We have to be sleeping 7 to 8 hours a night. So determine when you need to get up, count backwards from there, 7 to 8 hours, and get your butt in bed. So I do have a link for some favorite supplements for sleep. So we will make sure in the show notes to include my full script link so that you can access that protocol. You need to have a good sleep routine to unwind. One of my favorite things to do is to take a hot bath. And so I know some of you with littles, that may not be like part of your routine, or if we are out really late with kids sports, like try to like take a hot shower or have something you do to unwind before bed. No blue light for 2 hours before bed, no phone, no screens. If you and your husband like to watch a show before bed, put on some blue light blockers, but get off your phone. Stop doom scrolling 2 hours before bed. So another thing we like to do in our house is kind of go on the circadian rhythms. When the sun goes down, we do not use any overhead lights. Everything is lamps or soft lighting. So it's telling our body it is time to go to bed. We are kind of shutting down those circadian rhythms. We are telling our body there's no artificial light that's really, telling our body, oh, it's really, daytime outside. So we have to work with those normal circadian rhythms, and we need to turn our lights down, use candles, use lamps. All of those things really help when the sun starts to go down for your body to realize like, okay, it's time to slow down. If you can sleep with your room temperature around 68 to 69 degrees, that's ideal so you don't get hot. There are some cooling sheets and things like that that you can buy off of Amazon, but room temperature around 68 to 69 degrees is optimal. I know energy costs are out of control right now, but that is ideal for sleep. Or, try to get a fan, something white noise. I love all of that. Okay, so back to our walks. Number 9 is get natural sunlight on your eyes first thing in the morning. So I would love for you to get your walk first thing in the morning. If not, maybe step outside and take a few sips of your coffee outside, or go to the window and get the sun on your face for 2 to 5 minutes. It just tells your body this is morning, it's time to wake up, and it will help you sleep better at night. So number 10 is cold therapy. So cold therapy, cold plunges and cold therapy has been really big over the past year. So some things we can do super easy that don't, require us to get a cold plunge, um, are to do things like plunging your face in some cold water in the morning, doing an ice roller on your face in the morning. You can do a cold plunge, but sometimes that is stressful on your nervous system. So I don't recommend that if you are really in that depleted state and just really struggling to function. Eliminate the cold plunges. Just try to either, put a little cold water on your face in the morning, or ending your shower with about 30 seconds of cold water to 3 minutes of cold water at the end of your shower. So the cold water helps to stimulate the vagus nerve. So the vagus nerve is our most important nerve in our body, and that activates that parasympathetic nervous system to kind of decrease and shut down everything. So cold water on your face or a cold shower. So number 11 is breath work. So deep belly breathing 3 times a day really will kind of help center you. There's something called square breathing. And, you can look up an actual video of that on YouTube. If you're watching me on YouTube right now, it's to kind of box breathe. So we're going to like take a breath in, we're going to hold the breath, we're going to let the breath out, and then we're going to take another breath in. So it's just, you're kind of making this like box form. I'll do a video of that on my Instagram for you, just so everybody knows like what that box breathing looks like. Okay, number 12. So meditation or prayer. So I used to think meditation was like, like anti-Christian. It was just kind of like something that Christians shouldn't do. But meditation is just like with your sitting with your own thoughts, just kind of taking the chatter out of our brain all the time. You can do that with your walk. If you're like you can do 3 of these at one time. That's why I'm telling you, it doesn't take a ton of time. You can do 3 or 4 of these at one time. So if you're outside, you're getting your sunlight, you're getting your walk, you're not having your phone, so you can do your meditation. Like that's 3 of these at one time that are super easy to do that you're doing it all at one time. So you can sit down for a minute and try to listen to a guided meditation. I know it's hard to just sit in the quiet, but right now, if you're overstimulated, even 1 minute can feel hard. So just start with that. You can look up all kinds of stuff on YouTube or Peloton. They have a bunch of those. But, even just sitting with a few moments of prayer, just to kind of let all that stuff get out of our brain and to just kind of put our worries onto something else is so helpful. And the last one is related to that, and that's called brain dumping or journaling. So if you're like me and you lay in bed at night, wide awake, thinking about all these things that you have to do tomorrow or certain things that you are on your brain or you should have done today or you didn't get done, I want you to start brain dumping before bed. So I want you to write down everything that is on your mind on a piece of paper. You can throw it away afterwards. I do not even care. You are getting it out of your brain and onto a piece of paper. But what I like to do is kind of make sure I have my to-do task for the next day written down. So I'm not cycling in my brain using energy like, don't forget to send that email. Don't forget to do this. Don't forget to do that. It's all written down so it's off my brain. And I have a notebook right next to my bed because sometimes I forget. And then if I write it down, then it's off my brain and I don't have to think about it anymore and I can relax and start to go to sleep. You can also, have gratitude journaling. You can journal 5 things that were good in your day and just ending your day on that positive note that something good happened, even if everything was just crap today. 5 things had to be good. You opened your eyes this morning. You took a breath. Like those things are good enough. You want to journal those positive things so we end on a positive day and our brain is not overwhelmed with all of the negativity. So those are my tips. If you follow me on Instagram at Dr. Kim Sheppard, I'm going to have a reel on these every single day, and we're gonna, kind of unpack these and how you can do most of them, in little chunks at one time. But if you can incorporate this stuff during your day, I promise you it will help with your stress and it will regulate your nervous system. If you are local, we can measure that. We can check your HRV before and we can check your HRV in 12 weeks and see how you're doing and see if you're really regulating that nervous system. So if you found this helpful, if you find that this would be helpful for your friends, please share this on social media. Please, please share our podcast. It's going to help more people. And let me know if you have any questions. If you like this podcast, please subscribe. There's going to be more of this content coming your way. And I'm just so glad you spent the time to listen to me today. You should be proud of yourself for taking that time for yourself. If you're listening to me on one of your walks, I appreciate that, but maybe you can try walking without your phone next time. But I'm grateful for you all. Thank you for being here. And until next time, I'll see you all later.